Alright folks, welcome back to another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report. I've got TJ here. He is bringing the Dark Angels. I'm curious to see how this plays out. He can tell you a little bit more than I can about this, but we have clearly the Dark Shroud. This is the Chaplain Asmodai.
Asmodai, yep.
And does he have a special thing on him, or he's just as Asmodai comes?
Yeah, he's just as Asmodai comes.
Okay.
Straight up basic.
Excellent. And then we have Belial.
Belial. I don't know his name, man. I can't pronounce it.
I'll let you call him that because it sounds better. Ha ha. So he's the Deathwing Grandmaster. Okay, yep. Deathwing Grandmaster. We got a good old fashioned 3 squads of intercessors. So these guys, he said, are just the regular intercessor dudes. That'll be nice. And then we've got some scariness back here. So this command squad, these 2 guys with the Thunderhammers and Storm Shields.
Yep.
And then this is
the Deathwing Ancient, basically.
Deathwing Ancient. Okay.
So he's got the banner.
I'm going to remember if he had a name or not.
Yeah.
Banner, and you also gave him
the Relic banner.
Relic banner and a Warlord trait as well?
And a Warlord trait. Okay. So lay low, and then it's the Penance of Remembrance, I think. And so that basically, any Deathwing within 6 inches gives you a 5+ feel no pain.
Yeah, that's not cool. I mean, that's terrific.
Yeah, it's
Then you've got the big squad of Deathwing Terminators. So that's going to be really exciting to deal with. And then you've got the Deathwing Knights.
Yep, Deathwing Knights.
All right, good. Making sure I get all the names right. And you'll see there is a flail, and it will spill over because they didn't get the special treatment just yet. So that'll be exciting.
Yep.
Is this called something special?
It's a Nephilim jet fighter, so basically 16 heavy bolter shots is what I'll take it for.
Lots of heavy bolter shots. And then we also have the Prometheus.
Yep.
Prometheum.
Yeah, let's move it over here for you. Here you go.
As I'm trying to knock his dark. I was really just trying to get the Dark Shroud off the table and just maybe
just
break
smash
it.
Just
accident, yeah. So the Twin Assault Cannon, then you got the Flamers, and he was reminding me that being Dark Angels in turn 1 with Devastator Doctrine, it gets extra range and extra damage.
No, just extra range.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing special, range. Just extra range. So
nothing special, but it's an 18-inch flamer. So
yeah,
it's kind of special.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. So this is it. He's got a single battalion. I think I saw it was 1997 points. Yep. All right. It's going to be a blast. I'll come back in a minute. We'll go over the Drukhari list that I'm bringing today. Yeah. I am happy on one hand because it's not a bunch of Blood Angels, Vanguard Vets, and Blade Guard. But at the same time, this whole bit right here, this is going to be tricky because it's always transhuman.
Yep.
And does that only apply to the Deathwing?
Yep. Anything with the Deathwing keyword that's not a vehicle gets.
So your characters up here as well.
Yeah, they also have. They also have that too. So yeah.
Good. So the only thing I'm going to kill are going to be these guys. It's terrific.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be great.
No, I think I'm looking at that Drukhari list. I think you'll do just fine.
We'll have some fun. It's going to be a really cool game. I'm excited about it. So we'll be back in a minute for the Drukhari list. Alright folks, here's the Drukhari list that I'm going to be playing with today. I like to think of this as my Drukhari favorites list, little collection of fun toys. So we'll start over here, Cult of the Red Grief. I have Succubus here in the front with the 3-up invulnerable, say Warlord trait, Bloodglaive Relic, +1 attack for her combat drug, squad of 10 witches, back here, and we have 2 with a shard net, and then all splinter pistols. They have +1 strength, I believe, so that they're... Yeah, I think it's +1 strength for them for their combat drug. Then with the points being the way they are, and I'm not going to argue about it, I'm just going to run it. I have 8 Reaver jet bikes. None of them have the heavy weapons. They're just the regular Reaver jet bikes. So 80 points right there. Kind of cute. We got 5 Hellions. They have the +2 to their movement with their combat drug. And the Reaver jet bikes are the +1 toughness for their combat drug. So they're T5. Which I think is fun. And then the Incarn is also in this detachment. So we have the Incarn popped in here for grins and giggles. Then the next detachment over is going to be Prophets of Flesh. So I have this homunculus here is going to be Urian Rakarth for this game. This one is just a regular homunculus. So he has the Vexator Mask, Diabolical Soothsayer, then a squad of 10 racks. Not all of them match, but just pretend they all match. That is 1 squad of 10. I have a Kronos, so this is a new addition. He's been modified and converted because that's not what I got. When I bought him, he was a Talos, and I chopped him up to make him a Kronos. So that'll be fun to use. I haven't had one in a long time. 3 Talos. I like them the way they are. They have the Haywire Blasters. And then my last detachment is Dark Technomancer. So we've got Drazar, the Master of Blades, leading this up. Hatred Eternal Warlord trait, rerolling wounds. 2 5-man squads of Incubi. I'm going to split them up today and see how that works. We've got 5-man squad of Racks, Hex Rifle, Ossifactor in there. 2 Venoms, and the Reaper. And that comes out to 2,000 points on the nose, and this is going to be a very interesting game. And I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to kind of clean this up. We'll come back in a minute with the board, the deployment, and we'll get this game kicked off. All right, folks, here we go. We have deployed. Everybody is out. By the way, we rolled off for the mission. We're playing number 31 in the Grand Tournament book, titled Overrun. So you've got 2 objectives. Well, it's basically it's 3 on a side. So we've got that one back there, this one inside the deployment zone, this one out here, and then the same thing on the other side. So we've got 6 objectives. You have to hold 2 to score 5, 3 to score 10, more than the opponent to score the 15, which is a little trickier. We're playing on an Eldari world where the Imperium decided to come in and, colonize. The Drukhari do not appreciate that. So we're here to purge these silly fools, except they brought hard to kill stuff. So I don't know how much purging we're going to do.
Taking some slaves? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I would
taking
like some slaves. We're going to have some
There we go.
experimentations. Urian and the homunculus are running low on cool things.
Sure you want some Primaris DNA, to play with?
It'd be great. Make my grotesques a little better. Which they're not in this list. But that's okay. So over on my side, we've got Reaver jet bikes over here. We've got a big rack squad, homunculus tucked in, Venom with incubi. We've got the Reaper, another homunculus, or not homunculus, that's Urian, Kronos, Talos, Racks, Incarn, Witches, Succubus, Hellions, and another incubi. It's another Venom with incubi. Let's say it right. And on the other side, TJ has deployed. We've got Intercessors back here. Intercessors back here. Dark Shroud. This is just nasty right here, right?
Big.
And I'm assuming everything here is in his 6-inch bubble except for like the far intercessors.
Yep.
Potentially.
Yep. And then the little squad of command.
Oh, and the command squad's
Yeah.
not quite
Other than
there.
that, yeah.
Yeah, great. That's so exciting. And then a flyer right there. So that's us. We're deployed. We're gonna grab a die, which I forgot to pick up. So I'll just use one of my deployment dice, and we're gonna roll off. We'll see who's gonna get to go first. I'll let you roll first.
Here we go. A whopping 5.
Now he rolls a big number, and I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So I guess you're going first, sir.
Yeah, there's
no more choosing.
There's no more choice. I'm going first.
Yes, and you will see the secondaries in a second. If I remember, I know mine. I have mental interrogation. I have raised the banners, and I've taken engage on all fronts.
Yep.
TJ has deploy scramblers. Yes.
Deploy scramblers, assassinate. I figure he's got some characters. If I don't kill his characters, I'm pretty much gone. So
It'll be a bad game.
And then of course the favorite one of all Space Marines is Oath of the Moment.
Oath of the Moment.
Because you're playing Space Marines, might as well do it.
Well, that, and you're also playing unkillable Terminators that can sit in the middle of the board and always score 2 points for holding the center. Isn't that 2 for that, or is it?
Yeah,
just
that
one?
is 2.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that. I didn't think I was
Yeah,
going to do that. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm giving you ideas. Maybe I want you to put your Terminators in the middle, and I can come over and fight with them. Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Something's gonna fight one way or the other. So we will be back shortly at the end of Dark Angels turn 1. Alright, folks, Dark Angels turn 1 is over. The mass, the blob, the death, it all rolled forward, shuffled, ran, drove, whatever it all does. Came forward, this dude flew up. His shooting killed a bike, half of another one.
Woohoo!
Yay! I did, as you can see, put lightning fast reactions on there to help them out, and it did help. The Land Raider took all the wounds off the Venom, but I command rerolled 1, and I made it on the command reroll. So it's alive with 2 wounds, which I kind of didn't want him blown up right there or dying right there just yet. So I was glad that worked out, and I was impressed he didn't die to the rest of his shooting because I thought that might happen, but it did not. This is where I'm sad. This Talos died from storm bolters. Basically, it was the storm bolters that killed it. I mean, it took a few other shots.
I mean,
but
it did get the Cyclone.
that's true. I guess the Cyclone, and he did roll a 1 to wound. I mean, for the damage, and then re-rolled it into a 6, and so he did finally kill it. But the storm bolters did as much damage as the rest of his shooting, I think. So it is what it is. And then it exploded. My Talos ignored it. I lost a rack, and took a wound on the Incarn. Then his little dudes back here, those intercessors shot into my racks and killed 2 more of them. They did not fail the morale, though. We rolled a 1 for morale. So they're sticking around, which I kind of needed to not lose them all of a sudden. But yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's a little mix. He did get rid of a Talos, which kind of breaks my heart a bit because that makes it harder for me to hit back. But other stuff, stayed alive. So I don't know. We'll see. He scored a point for not failing a morale check. Yeah,
awesome.
Off to a racing start, and these guys back here are going to deploy scramblers, the intercessors behind the rock. So they started the deploy scramblers, and that's where we stand. So we'll be back in just a minute for the summary for Drukhari, turn 1. All right, folks, Drukhari turn 1 is over, and it's kind of funny. There was some big whiffers. And some things went okay. It's very strange in my opinion. So I raised the banners on all 3 of the objectives in my deployment zone. So my witches and succubus moved up back there in that corner. The venom over here did move forward. I think I did kill 1 intercessor.
You killed 2.
Oh, I did kill 2. Okay.
You got 2 over there?
So that's, I killed 1 with the venom and 1 with the Hellion. I think is how that worked.
Yeah.
So I overcharged the venom and took 2 wounds on myself and managed to kill an intercessor. The Hellions went in and killed 1, so that was good. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's kind of sad at the same time. I hoped for better than that because I was really wanting to just take that point, but I didn't have enough involved or invested over there. This venom moved forward. I did not have the guts to overcharge it because it's already only on 2 wounds, and the incubi stayed inside both venoms. We did kill half of a Terminator, I think. Put 1 on 1 wound. I forgot. They're 3 wounds now, so it's not even half. It was 2/3 of a Terminator. I hemmed and hawed a bunch. In the end, we agreed charging into this Land Raider was probably better than letting him go free, and I took a wound in Overwatch, and then I took a wound in combat when the Land Raider rolled over my toes. Urian came in here as well just to give the buff for the strength and toughness. He didn't do anything. Missed with the Ichor Injector, which I thought was pretty funny. He's standing in front of a Land Raider. Couldn't hit it on 2s. That's okay. His other attacks did hit it, and it did a wound, but he saved it. The Chronos stayed back. I tried to charge in with the Vexator Mask first. He was way too far out, so he didn't. He was only out by an inch on his charge roll, but it wasn't enough. The Reaper, big winner here. Targeted the Land Raider because I actually had, with a +1 to wound, a better chance of wounding the Land Raider than the Terminators because of their transhuman, which is really sad. Even overcharged, I was like, no. And then I rolled my D6 shots. I got 1. I rolled a 2 to hit. So sad. It just wasn't meant to be in that shooting phase. The Haywire from the Talos, I did like 2 or 3 wounds, so it's down to 13. So I think I took 3 wounds this whole phase. Whatever. These guys over here, they made their charge, so they advanced. So no shooting out of them, but then they charged in, and we killed a couple of guys in melee, and they killed 1.5 jet bikes in melee. And that's it. So at the end of the turn, I scored 3 for engaging on the front. My Incarn was too far away to do any mental interrogation at this point, so I didn't score that this turn. And, oh man, completely forgot the third one. I didn't.
What was it?
What was that third one?
Well, you got engage on all fronts.
That was the only one I did score.
Yeah, that was the only one. Raise the banners.
So raise the banner, right. I did that. That's why I was so confused, because I did all the work to get points from that, but it doesn't score till the next turn. Yeah. So at least I'll potentially get something from that next turn. So that's where we stand. Kind of funny. All the witches are back here chilling, so I've got some defense in the backfield. He's going to deep strike in some Deathwing Knights, either this turn or the future turn.
Well, no, they're going to get out of the Land Raider.
Oh, that's right, they're in the Land Raider. Yeah. I keep seeing them on the edge of the board back there, and I keep thinking they're going to deep strike. So yeah, we're going to have some fun. There's going to be some things dying. It's going to get very violent, very messy. We'll have fun. So turn 2 is coming up, and we'll be back at the end of Dark Angel's turn 2 to show you what's left of the Drukhari, at least for the middle. We might have some things that can skirt around the outside, but
we'll see what they can do and get out, if they can do anything. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Be very interesting. So we'll be back. Dark Angel's turn 2 coming up.
Okay.
All right, folks. Dark Angel's turn 2 is over. We had the command squad come over here and help with the combat. We lost another bike and a half, I believe. Mm-hmm. We did kill almost all the intercessors in this turn. Didn't try to kill the big old hammer dudes because that seemed kind of not likely. Over here, this is where the bad things happened. So the Deathwing Knights got out. They had a good 2-inch charge to make. These guys got forward and then rolled a 12 on the charge, and there was enough room between the building and the Talos base that they could all come around and wrap. He did not charge or declare Urian, and I did not heroically intervene, so he didn't get smacked. But the Terminators killed the Talos by themselves. These guys were just within 6 of my Vexator mask, so I was going to make the Deathwing Knights fight last anyways, on the off chance that the Terminators missed. But Power Fists, they had the Chapter Master, what is it called? Just the reroll.
Grandmaster of the Deathwing.
Yeah, so they...
Chapter Master roll.
They had the reroll, everything in it. So yeah, it was like, I think 8 wounds that went through, and the last Talos failed all 7 of his wounds with 2 more to save anyway. So it was a moot point in the end. So that's ugly. It's all there. It's all stuck. Not really sure what I'm going to do about that. Then back here, everything is kind of okay. My Reaper did take a whole bunch of failed saves. I'm down to 2 wounds from him. My Venoms both got shot and dead. I lost 2 incubi climbing out of that venom. I guess that I just have a hard time getting out of venoms. This squad of 5 is chilling in the building because they said we don't need to get closer to that horrible mess of death right here in the center. So they're there. Back here, everything else stayed the same. So we're hanging out. Oh, and this was amazing to me. My Hellion, I only lost 1. I was so proud. He didn't kill anybody, or the 2 that were there didn't kill anybody with their 2 damage weapons that have no AP. Maybe that'll get fixed soon. And we're chuckling about the points. Like that has to be a mistake that they transposed Reavers and Hellions. But hey, it is what it is. We'll still use them for now. And they're still doing a thing. I mean, they're back there in the corner. They're engaged on the fronts. They've kept those intercessors back there from shooting and stuff. So, I mean, it's not like they've been wasted. But I really wish they could do more killing because they look so amazing. So that's the end of the turn. TJ did not get to deploy any scramblers this turn. He did get a whopping 4 points on Oath of Moment, though, because he's towards the center there. He killed vehicles. What was the other one for? Oh, didn't fail morale again.
Yeah, no morale.
This guy, I mean, I wish he could have failed morale, but he just can't do it because they're Astartes and they, lost 2 that turn. It's just a thing. So there you have it. That's the end of the turn. Oh, and he got 10 for his primary because he was holding 3, but you have to hold more than the opponent to get the full 15. Yeah. So that's how that ended up. So he's up at like 25, and I think I'm on...
No, I'm on 15, man.
Oh, sorry. I included the paint early because that's how the ITC Battles app does it. So yeah, it's 15-3. Oh, yeah. But then I've got a score primary. So it's closer than that. It's actually really close, but I feel bad because my Talos are all dead. I don't have any good way to like tie him up in the center right now, so I'm a little nervous about that. Anyways, we'll be back in just a minute for Drukhari turn 2. All right, folks. So we're done with Drukhari turn 2. I moved the Incarn up to here, and I did a smite, and I rerolled the 1's spell. I took 2 wounds off the flyer with the smite, and that was all there was. The witches stayed put because I would like to score points. I think I'll need all the points I can get, and not putting myself in direct line of fire is probably better. Succubus advanced 6, got all the way out to here, had an 8-inch charge and rolled a 7. Rerolled it because it was battle round 2 and turned it into a 6. So that was not good. But my friendly incubi came over and did friendly huggings and killed the intercessors. Mr. Hellion didn't get to do anything. He felt bad. But he was enjoying watching them die, so it's fine. So we did take a point away from Mr. TJ and the Dark Angels. Over here, trying to remember how all this worked. Oh, I paid 2 points for Cruel Deception, so my Reavers jumped back, actually shot everything into Asmodai. I don't remember doing anything because there's no AP, so he was fine. Then I recharged. It's funny to say. Recharged. I charged back into the Intercessor that was left and only barely killed him. It was kind of sad. But the Incarn came in, and with the way the rock is positioned and all that, the Incarn landed back there. So the Incarn's over there chillaxing until the combat squad comes in. Oh yes, up here, the Incubi came in, they charged. Drazar came down as well out of the webway. He's back here. He failed his charge by an inch, but he was able, with some stringing and being clever, to give the +1 to wound, and then it didn't matter because he's transhuman, and I should have just put all 5 in, but I didn't think about that. So I did kill 3 Terminators. Urian did nothing. Then the Kronos did not kill anybody. I did make them the Deathwing Knights fight last, so the Kronos was in there. The Kronos was trying to survive. The flail did nothing to it, but then the hammer, maces, whatever, just shredded it. So it exploded. My homunculus had power from pain. My Urian had power from pain, so they didn't take any damage from it. And then I hurt the Terminator. I don't think it did anything to the Deathwing Knights. The Land Raider, I don't remember if it took a wound or not. That's it. Yeah, that was all I did. Well, no, I did have my Reaper shoot in and kill a Deathwing Knight, and then I used Fire and Fade to get him back here on this objective and a little farther away. I think that's it now. And yes, so I scored 3 for Raise the Banners. I got 3 for Engage on all fronts. No mental interrogation because I had continued to be too far away. Hopefully I can start getting some of those points in the next turn. And that's it. That's the end of the turn. So we'll be back in just a minute for Dark Angels turn 3. Alright, so Dark Angels turn 3 is over. Deathwing Knights came up here. This was a little interesting interaction. So back here we had some charges done by the, what were they, the command squad.
Yep.
So they charged the Incarn. Asmodai is sitting down here into the rock. He charged my Reavers. He actually, you'll notice, killed a lot. I think he killed 3 of them by himself, which was disappointing. There is one left. I don't think I could see it from there. He piled in over here to fight back. So we're still contesting that objective with the one last Reaver, but that was rough. So anyways, with all the charges he did, Deathwing Knights charged Razar. The Incarn was over here and was charged, but because my Reaper died to shooting, the Incarn was going to get to fight first, unless he started the combat there. And then if he didn't start the combat there, then the Incarn would fight and kill the command squad, or he could start over here and kill Drazar. So he ended up starting with the Incarn, took a bunch of wounds off actually with those hammers, not enough to kill it. And then over here, Drazar interrupted, so I spent 3 command points for the exploding 6s to hit, 2 to interrupt, so I went down to 0. He did a whole 1.5 Terminators basically, was what he got out of it, which, you know, could have been better. And then they piled in and hit him. I think I only failed it by like 2 wounds, but it was, I mean, it doesn't matter, he's still dead. But it was closer than I thought. I thought they would kind of mulch him. So that's how that all played out. So we did actually pick up another Deathwing Knight and killed the command squad. So that was kind of some back and forth stuff. Urian over here got charged by the, what is he called, an ancient, right?
Yeah, the
ancient Deathwing ancient. Urian's having damage and then making power from pain and some invulnerable field saves. He only has taken 3 wounds out of all of that, which I was surprised by. So he's still hanging around, keeping the Terminators busy. What else happened that was, the Succubus is fine. Oh, the flyer, Nephilim flyer thing came over, did some shooting, killed an Incubi and a Reaver.
I think.
Oh no, not even a Reaver.
No, I killed off that one
yeah.
Reaver.
Yeah, there was a wounded Reaver. So yeah, that poor thing just didn't do a whole lot. And this Intercessor Squad also shot the bikes. The bikes were really resilient until Asmodai came in with this big old, whatever the Crozius.
Yeah,
that was rough. Yeah. The Incarn actually was good too, because even with the transhuman business going on Deathwing, the Incarn got all 6 wounds through, and he failed 3. And it took 2 D6s to kill one of those guys. The other one you just killed outright. So it was very interesting. So we're still hanging in the game, still have points. Oh, my Reaper exploded first time in like 4 games. And what did I hit? Just me. I did 3 mortal wounds on the Homunculus. He shrugged 1 of them. And 3 mortal wounds on the Racks. They shrugged none of them. So that was cute. And that's that. The Deathwing Knights stayed still. They didn't try to consolidate anywhere because it would have had to go towards the Homunculus, and I think he might have other nasty thoughts in mind. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Scored another few for Oath of Moment and Assassinate. Picked up 3 for that.
I think that was it, yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't get primary this turn. Yeah,
no
I kept him off of primary because he only had 1.5 objectives, and you have to hold 2. So that was a kind of actually going to be a big turn for me as far as points go.
Yep.
But he still has a lot of things on the board, so it might not matter a whole lot. And we're killing things. But that's it. So Drukhari turn 3 is coming up. I need to keep things alive, and yeah, so we'll be back in a minute. We'll see what all we can pull off here. We'll be back after Drukhari turn 3. All right, Drukhari turn 3 is done. That little guy shifted farther into the rocks in case those big guys wanted to hit him, but he didn't do anything. He has no guns or anything. These guys came out, putting a few bodies up here onto the point, and I guess if the Dark Winged Knights are going to charge them, my thinking was, well, they could wrap around and get onto the objective, but hopefully it keeps them a little bit away. I don't know. Might not make a difference. Vexator Mask for the win. Charged into the mighty Land Raider. Can't overwatch a Vexator Mask. He was very vexed by this. Get it? I did not do anything to the Land Raider. Are we surprised? Some reason...
No, you put a wound on it.
Oh, I did. That's right. My homunculus tools, my little poison blades. I did one. I don't know why. Whatever. Maybe he poked a lens and so it can't see out or something. I did spend my brand new fresh command point at the beginning of the turn to heal him for D3, and he got his full 3 wounds back. So he went back up to full health and then took 2 wounds in this fight phase. So that was kind of fun. He did a single wound. Oh, I need to do my Hamivore, mortal wounds. Yeah. So I still get to do a couple attempts at mortal wounds on them. Over here, this time, Asmodai did not kill the one jet bike. This is my champion, so he took a wound. He made good saves, and he made a power from pain. So hey, we're still there, which is annoying for poor TJ because that means he doesn't get to score primary again. The Incarn. This was really disappointing. So the Incarn charged, made a huge charge. It was very exciting. Only got 2 wounds through. No. I think I wounded. No, it was because he bit transhuman.
Yeah, I put transhuman.
Yeah, it was really ugly. The whole combat phase was pretty ugly. But yeah, 2 wounds, and then I rolled snake eyes on the 2 that went through. So D6 damage turned into snake eyes. So it was pretty awkward. We left a good while. So I killed 1. That was it. End of the story.
And then I put 2 wounds back on you.
Oh, yeah. And then the Intercessors took 2 wounds off there. So that was, I guess, what was due. Over here, the little Succubus went ahead and charged into the Dark Shroud. We found out that it hits on 3s in combat, the Dark Shroud does, but it didn't hurt her because of her 3-up invul. And she likewise didn't hurt it because she's only strength 5 with her cool Relic Bloodglaive and it's T6, so it was comical. And then these guys back here stayed on the point, but they scooted out of line of sight and backed up so they could raise a banner. And that is basically it. My witches back here still doing nothing besides scoring points, which is still good. That's not anything to be laughed at.
Winning you the game.
Yeah, it's definitely helping me out because I've kept him from scoring primaries in 2 turns now, and I maxed it last turn, and I should hopefully max it again this turn. So,
yes, sir.
But yeah, that's it. So that was the end of the turn for me. I did get mental interrogation also. Proud of myself for actually having the Incarn in position to do that and it not being dead yet. So there. We'll come back in a minute for Dark Angels. Dark Angels turn 4. So there we go. Dark Angels turn 4 coming up next. All right, folks. Dark Angels turn 4 is done. Very poor decision making on my part. So over here, lots of assault cannons killed the homunculus. Didn't even get to flame it. But anyways, he died. Urian's still in combat and still alive. The Incarn is not there anymore because he killed the jet bike with a pistol. So the Incarn came over here because I thought everything was done. In my mind, he was finished shooting because this here flyer didn't get to shoot anything earlier when we measured all the ranges because it was out of range of everything and the Incarn was in combat. So then the jet bike dies, but it's still the shooting phase. So I pop the Incarn over here, not really paying attention to what I'm doing, and then this thing just melts it. Bad play on my part. Be aware of that, folks. Be aware. I thought I was being cheeky. I thought I was going to still contest this objective and probably kill Asmodai, and I was very foolish. So that was the big no-no moment of the game right there. Or at least for me. These guys came up and deployed Scramblers, which is good because he didn't do that in the last couple turns. So if he gets rid of Urian in the next turn, then he'll be able to do that easily in the middle and have the 10 points for that. Or these guys could also just shuffle back and do it in the, I don't know, whatever. But he's got options now to get deploy Scramblers done. This continues to be entertaining. Oh, we didn't even do this combat.
Oh, we did, right.
No, so we're going to do that combat and then, I don't know if it'll do anything. It'll be exciting. Maybe we'll actually get a wound off something. But that's it. So end of the turn, he's got another 4 for Oath of Moment. He's only 2 away from maxing that out. He is 1 action away from Deploy Scramblers. And what was your... Oh, and he got 2 Assassinate that turn, so he's up to 9 on Assassinate. So slowly but surely. And then he's going to get some points unless I can come up with some really craziness, which I don't know that that's possible at this point in the game.
You're
But
get 15 points.
I will still get 15, so there is that. But yeah, he's going to start actually scoring primaries again because I was an idiot. Of course, the end card only having 3 wounds. The reason really I wanted to move, I was kind of worried about Belial coming in and then the Intercessors also getting to fight. I kind of figured it was going to die anyways. I just really wish it had been in combat, not getting shot in the face by a Nephilim flyer. Really, this dude hasn't done like a ton of work, but that was pretty clutch right there. That was a big moment. So, anywho, we'll be back. Drukhari turn 4 coming up. We'll roll off the little Succubus versus Dark Shroud in a minute. But yeah, Drukhari turn 4 next. All right, Drukhari turn 4 is done. It's short and sweet. I went ahead and did some stringing out and charged into the Deathwing Knights. And as you can see, it didn't go well for me. I did not wound them. And then I lost 5, but I did not fail morale. It was close, but I did not fail morale. So we're still holding our point. They're not tied down. And I did spend my brand new command point for Urian to heal his wounds again. So he went back up to 3, and then he took 2 wounds. So he's still alive with 1. The reason I wanted them so badly to be tied up was so they can't fall back into the middle of the board and deploy scramblers. I think they might still be able to. That was his only unit he had left that could do it. So he's probably going to get it this turn. We'll see. Then over here, the Land Raider is free now, but it is what it is. He's probably still going to melt my dudes right here in the face, and then probably about all he needs to do. Back here, he's going to hold 5. He's going to hold the 2, so he's going to get 5 points for that for this turn, for primary. My Incubi just staying back there. Oh, I was so excited about my Succubus shooting her blast pistol, which hit and wounded, and I rolled a 1, and I had no command points left, so it did nothing. However, she did take 6 wounds off of it in the combat phase, which was making up for the blast pistol. So there's that. That's all we got to report here. So I scored 15 on primary, and I scored 2 for an engage on all fronts, and I think that was all I got. So we'll be back in just a minute. The end of the game here. We'll see if TJ can bring this all back around, and we'll wrap this up shortly. All right, folks. Dark Angel's turn 5 is done. Picked up 5 for primary this time. Then Mr. Not in Combat Land Raider came up here, sat on the objective. The Land Raider did not even do the killing of the Racks. This guy did. So this Nephilim flyer deal actually was pretty clutch the last 2 turns, picking up units. So he took down my banner off of here. These dudes came over here, didn't even have to do any work because the Nephilim actually split fire, killed this guy and the other 2 racks. So it picked up 3 racks in the last turn, but sounds like not much, but it knocks down 2 of my banners, so it is kind of a big deal. Over here, the Dark Shroud fell back. Yes, you heard it right, folks. Something fell back in a Space Marine army. However, it didn't matter because he still gets 2 for Oath of Moment, and that's all he needed to max it out. It also meant that Mr. Belial got to charge the Succubus, and the Land Raider got to shoot the Succubus with the assault cannon. So between the 2 of them, combat and shooting, they killed the Succubus, so he got Assassinate. And you'll see that Urian finally died. This dude, I'm super proud of, took 3 turns of combat, healing himself every turn, having damage. It was good times. He got dropped by the chaplain, Mr. Asmodai. So Asmodai did some work. He took out the Reavers, suckered the Incarnate into a really stupid maneuver, and then killed Urian off of 1 wound. So that was good there. The Assault Intercessors, I think, were the ones that shot at them. We actually made a power from pain and kept both of them alive. So they're still there. The Witches are still back here, just wishing that they got to do something. This is the most bored they've ever been in their lives. They raised a banner, but they've got me a lot of points. So they can be sad all they want. And that's going to be it. So for my turn, not going to be... No, I still get... No, I won't. Not engaged on any fronts this time around. I'll get 5 for primary. which I think should max out primary, and then I will get 2 for raise the banners, and I can't like move myself with what I have left to get onto more at the end of the turn because I got to go second, so I could do that if I had actual movement. So it doesn't really matter. So that is that. I think I just had a thought. I might try to do maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. So I think we'll call the game at that. We'll total up the scores, and we'll be back in just a minute. So I think that is going to be the end of that turn. All right, so we did the scoring. It was 83 to 55.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm proud of these poor little Drukhari. I really enjoyed them so far. We got these 2 incubi, not dead, and a whole squad of witches hiding behind a building, and they're probably mad at me, and they got bored, but they held it down, got me 5 points. I think maxed primary doing that. And then I got 4 more for raise the banners. I was 1 short of maxing that out of whatever. But mental interrogation proved to be silly. I will stop trying to do that with the end card. I've done it like for 2 or 3 games now, and it's never got me more than 3 points. It's just not what that thing's made to do.
No.
And I have to say, we were just talking about it. I thought I was gonna have a really rough game after my Talos were all dead by the end of turn 2. The Kronos, then the Homunculus, then Urian all kind of teamed up to hold everything back here in the center. And Urian, I could not believe how much he tanked off of the Terminators, the Ancient. And he really, if it hadn't been for him, it would have been very different because TJ would have had all the time in the world to come down here, shoot into this stuff, clean it off. Could have got down here, cleaned that off, and then deployed in both zones. That's the other thing we didn't. I don't think we clarified. He didn't get to deploy scramblers because you have to get outside of 6 inches of any deployment zone for that middle area. The Deathwing Knights were too far out. They could only move into 2 inches inside, I think.
2 inches. So.
These guys were still in combat because Urian just would not die. And there were no other infantry that weren't characters. So that ended up being a big, big deal. So it was kind of wild. I just thought my Prophets of Flesh would last longer in the game than that, but they didn't, except for Urian, and then it was what I needed. So, yeah, there you go. So he's going to be my MVP for this game. And TJ's picked out somebody. I don't know who yet, because he didn't tell me.
Definitely it's been the Deathwing Knights. They did what they do. They went across the board, they slaughtered stuff, and just kept on moving. So
yeah, and I don't care if you think they're slow. I mean, slow and steady wins the race. Yep. They got out of the Land Raider over here. Killed stuff, moved down here, deployed scramblers once, and killed stuff. I mean, that's all they had to do. It was pretty clutch. This Land Raider was pretty cool. It's actually really killy in the flamer. Like, when you're in that 12-inch range, the flamers are really amazing. And then the silly little flyer, like, the first 2 turns, I was like, oh, whatever, he's just going to float around and not do anything. Then he kills the Incarn, picks off all the racks, takes down banners off all my objectives. I was like, okay, that's not what I expected.
It only turned 6 games. This is my 6th game with it, and finally did something.
He finally did something. so he might have to stay around a little longer. I don't know. Before the game started, TJ, you were saying you are getting some Ravenwing.
Yeah, I'm
working on that.
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be replacing probably the Nephilim jet fighter with some Ravenwing bikers, as well as a Talon Master. So so we'll be changing up the list a little bit, but it's Dark Angels are fun, but Drukhari do what Drukhari do. I
was pleased.
And they take the board.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they do.
And none of the units I thought would hold this up in the middle did what they were supposed to do, but then the other guys that I didn't expect to do it pulled it off. So it was really funny. And I think the Ravenwing are going to make this list, I think, really, really scary because then you get the movement shenanigans. You can do that deep strike stratagem, and he's also working on an apothecary. Which that'll be annoying because the 2 that I managed to kill over here of his Deathwing Knights, he could have just bloop, hey, look, he's back. So it was a lot of fun. Well, thank you, sir, for joining me out here and making the drive and playing.
Thank you for a great game, man. I love the Drukhari, man. Keep it up, man. Just can't wait to see what your army does next.
I know. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with our new codex. Yeah. Although, I don't know. Do you know anymore if it's Dark Angels next or Drukhari? Because I keep hearing people saying Dark Angels are coming next and not Drukhari.
They said they were both coming out at the same time, but with GW's release schedule.
Okay.
They both announced it at the same time, but with GW's release schedule and pushing everything back. My guess it'll probably be Dark Angels just for the fact that they just released those heavy intercessors and they still have some Space Marine kits to release.
Yeah.
So
and
they may do Dark Angels.
Death Guard too. So
Yeah,
they want to
and
throw in some Marines.
Yeah.
You gotta love the Marines.
But I'm hoping it's going to be Drukhari because I know all the Drukhari players really deserve a new codex. So hopefully they'll get it.
And somebody needs to fix the points on the Reavers. I mean, I'm happy with the way they turned out.
Yeah.
You know, it
You
was
just need to paint what a good 28 more, and
yeah,
you got 36.
I think so. Yeah, and I would love to have 40 more racks. That'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, actually, I really like this list. I think it was a lot of fun to do. And in splitting my Incubi units, I think actually worked pretty well. I hadn't done that before this game, but I think I would have lost all of them right away here in the middle if I'd just had the big 10, blob of 10. So I think it was actually pretty good. I'll keep experimenting with that. So yeah, awesome, man. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a fun game, and we'll call it a wrap. Thank you for watching Kitchen Table Wargaming. Hope you all enjoy it.